Hey, 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 happy holidays. Come on in, pull up a chair. Gaming Gang Dispatch is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang, and happy holidays. Welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host, here at the Gaming Gang Dispatch, brought to you by, amazingly enough, thegaminggang.com, of which I happen to be the founder and editor-in-chief. So welcome aboard. Tonight is Monday, December 19th, 2022. This is live stream 865. Yes. If this is your first time joining me, let me point out it's super, super casual around here. Just hanging out, talking about the latest in tabletop gaming news, and then taking a peek at a game. And tonight, we are actually going to dive into the latest supplement for Vaesen from Free League Publishing. This is Seasons of Mystery, and this actually arrives in stores this week. So we are going to take a peek inside, and of course, stay tuned because I will be sharing how you can go about winning a copy in PDF. That's right, I will have a PDF giveaway. I'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. So first thing I do want to say, kind of surprised I don't see anybody in chat. So first thing I'm going to do, because by this point, somebody has said hello in chat. So I'm curious if we actually, because every once in a while, chat is off. People be in chat, but I don't see it. So I'm taking a peek here, see what we've got. As far as, no, maybe not. Oh, there we go. Omanal's with us. All right, so the chat is working okay. Cool deal. Thank you kindly, because usually by the time I get to the point where I'm like, yeah, we're taking a look at this tonight, there's usually 3 or 4 people have already said, hey, what's going on? So, but like I said, every once in a while, for some reason, people are in chat, chatting away, and I get nothing. And it's kind of funny because I've seen those chats. I don't think Jeff sees us. I don't think Jeff knows we're here. Kathy Evans is also with us in chat. So as I mentioned, today we are going to take a look at Vaesen, Seasons of Mystery. But if you are not familiar with how this show works, we do tackle the tabletop gaming news first. So if you're tuning in live to get a peek at Seasons of Mystery, please keep that in mind. So it's going to be probably 35, 40 minutes before we get on into the first look. Now, of course, if you happen to be watching this 30 minutes or more after it ends, well, then you don't have to actually check out any of the tabletop gaming news. There will be timestamps so you can jump ahead if you want. We got some cool news every show, but I know some people just want to jump right on into the first look, or on occasion, I do live reviews as well. So just keep that in mind. Also, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more that you won't find here on the YouTube channel. Also, it's a live stream, so that means there is chat available. You already know that because I was looking to see if chat was actually working, and it is. But if you want to say howdy, maybe you got a question, a comment, by all means, please chime in. I will do my best to respond. Keep in mind, it's not on screen. It's one of the ways I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. And you have to be a subscriber to the channel for at least 48 hours before you can take part in chat. Yet another way that I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. All right. So, kind of quiet so far tonight. I had just one wacky weekend. I'm going to get into the news and everything in just a moment, but I got nothing done. Nothing done that I wanted to get done this weekend because Friday morning I was going to pull out of the garage and go do some last minute Christmas shopping and, go to the grocery store and things like that. And I go and hit the button to open up the garage door and nothing happens. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I just hear kind of like a buzz. I go and look, and the torsion spring, and the garage door here is really big, really heavy. So it actually has two big, long torsion springs. One of them was broken. So I spent my entire weekend screwing around with that. And of course, also having my 85-year-old father hovering right over my shoulder, too. So I can only imagine how enjoyable that was. And basically, all we were able to do was actually get the springs off. So have somebody coming out tomorrow to put a new spring on, or springs, I should say, on, because not dealing with that. Because for one, it's relatively dangerous. So I don't really want to deal with that either. Sarah D is with us in chat. She is one of our chat moderators. Looks like her symbol is just two lurking eyes with a band hammer. Looks like her little avatar there. That's pretty funny. Good to see Sarah D. So, yes, so I got nothing done. I had a new show, a new series that I'm going to launch. I was going to shoot that. I had a couple of reviews I wanted to shoot. Absolutely nothing got done. Womp, 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 womp. Oh, well, what can I tell you? All right, let's jump on into the news because I've got a cool mix tonight, like most nights. Arriving in March of next year is Till the Last. Oh, wait, I forgot. I'm so busy talking about the garage door. We're going to take a look at our Funko Advent Calendar. It's sitting right in front of me, like right there. I'm moving right past it. What is wrong with me? So, as you know, I received the Advent Calendar from Funko. It is The Office. And we were taking a peek at the Pocket Pops that are contained within. There are 24 of them. So we've been taking a peek. And we've got a few to catch up with. Because last one we looked at was from Wednesday. And it was Golden Face. Yes, that's right. Jim Halpert as the villain in the Michael Scott film Threat Level Midnight. That's what I couldn't remember last week when we were taking a peek at this. I was like, what the hell is the name of that goofy movie they make? That is it. So we've got some to catch up on real quick. So Andres DeBarbara is with us from Argentina. Welcome aboard. Shen from Taiwan is also in chat with us tonight. So let's flip this on over. Do want to mention that this carries an MSRP of $60 right now over on Funko's website. You can get it for $50, but I have also seen it at NBC.com for $39.99. So, and once again, it contains 24 pops. All right, so we have the 15th. So we're actually going to look at 5 of these because we are catching up. And we actually have a good number of members of the office still. I think I know who this is. It is It is Kevin. We've been waiting to see him. So there we go. And he is holding a pot of chili, it looks like. That is my guess. So there we go. I was wondering, we still need Kelly, and I think that would be it. I think that would be all the main characters. Oh, well, no, there's also Ryan. We haven't seen Ryan yet. See who we got here, and it is it's Prison Mike. Hey, everybody, I'm Prison Mike. That is classic. If I remember right, I think that's from the first season of The Office. So, yep, there we go. It is Prison Mike. Right. On to the 17th. See what we got here. And we've got Mose. Isn't that it? Isn't that the name of Dwight's cousin Mose, who was actually, amazingly enough, here's a little trivia bit for you from The Office. He was actually one of the main writers on the show. So there we go. So it is Cousin Mose. What do we got for the 18th? What we got coming for the 18th? Well, this seems pretty big. It is. I know it's Dwight, but I'm trying to remember the episode. No, it's not. I was going to say it's not him with the like the bed and breakfast. So yes, kind of surprised it's taken us a while to find Kelly in the mix, or Ryan. That's kind of weird. All right, so here's today's. Let's take a look at today's Pocket Pop from the Office Advent Calendar, and it is. There we go. There's Kelly. There's Mindy Kaling's character, Kelly Kapoor. Took long enough. So the only main character, I got to point out, I really didn't watch The Office like the last season when they introduced some new characters in that. So we may encounter them that I'm like, not sure who that is. Because the show had kind of gone downhill, right? One of these days I got to get around to watching that last season. Plus, the other thing I didn't like is they made Ed Helms' character out to be like a dick. And he was never like that. So that kind of turned me off on the show. Right. So there we go. So today's Advent Calendar entry from The Office is Kelly. Nice. Very cool. So, of course, tomorrow we'll take a look at the 20th. And then what we will do on Wednesday is we'll take a look at what's left. I don't expect to come back after the new year and be like, hey, let's look at the last three. Now we'll cheat. We'll jump ahead. So that's what we'll do. Once again, the Office Advent Calendar from Funko is available for an MSRP of $60. Funko is offering it for $50 right now. And as I point out, NBC.com has it for $39 and I want to say 99. It might be 95, but still pretty big savings there. All right, let's jump on into the news now, because arriving in March is Till the Last Gasp. Here's the skinny from Darrington Press. Till the Last Gasp is a dramatic two-player storytelling game of duels coming to tables in March 2023 from designer Will Hindmarsh, with additional design by Alex Roberts. Spanning genres and settings, this game takes you straight to the action of two characters in conflict. And as blows are exchanged, emotions are betrayed, secrets are revealed, and stakes are raised. Till the Last Gasp uniquely enables you to capture the climax of great cinema fights and clashes from stories we all know and love, and new stories you'll make through play. Till the Last Gasp lets you describe and dramatize. Till the Last Gasp draws steel and goes for the heart. This is a storytelling game as much about your character's innermost feelings as it is about armor or weapons. Sounds a little odd. A duel flourishes to life when the drama you bring affects every move. Reflect the heat of your conflict in your surroundings. Smash faces, swing from chandeliers, and scar machinery with laser swords. Don't you mean like lightsabers? Is that what you mean? Lightsabers? Oh, sorry. Copyright. Duel in any setting. Play fist-fighting monks, gunslingers on a windswept plain, high-tech laser sharpshooters, and wielders of the arcane arts. Till the Last Gasp can accommodate nearly any setting in a wide variety of genres and characters. You can even import characters from other storytelling games or media you love. It's a game of two characters locked in conflict, discovering something deep at the heart of it. Dive right in. All you need are two players and an optional facilitator. Really? Come on, you want a game master for this? It's like, hey, come on, just two players. Also need the box and your imagination to play. Create new characters in worlds on the spot, or use its ready scenarios for quick, no prep play. Till the Last Gasp is for two players, ages 12 and up, plays in around 60 minutes. It's going to carry an MSRP of $39.99 when it arrives in March. Yes. So if you are not familiar with Darrington Press, it is the game company arm of Critical Role. That's right. So Tessie Trekkie says this sounds like a game of thirsty sword lesbians, the board game. Possibly, very possibly. I have not taken a peek at Thirsty Sword Lesbians. I have heard good things about it. So, Tessie Trekkie's with us. I think I said hello to Tessie Trekkie. Stray Kismet is with us in chat, as is Coco B. Omenel says, asking a lot to bring my imagination. I don't know. I can imagine quite a bit. Just added to the GMT Games P500 list for pre-order is 18 EUS. Here's the skinny. 18 EUS is, and you guessed it, 18XX railroad game for 3 to 5 players that plays in under 4 hours. That's a selling point? It sounds like it's a selling point. I gotta be honest, I don't play a lot of 18XX, and the games that I have played, you can usually knock out in a couple hours. But they are very lightweight 18XX. So yes, I understand. Under 4 hours could be a selling point here. Players take on roles of robber barons, competing to amass the most personal wealth over the course of 4 to 5 sets of stock rounds and operating rounds. The inspiration of the game was the combined favorite elements of multiple previous 18XX games, including 1822, 1862, 18 USA, and others, and add a key new feature in the Bank of New York, allowing players to take elective loans or make bank investments. The relative strength of loans versus bank investments is dynamic and dependent on the actions of other players. 18 EUS also features tremendous pregame variability, but zero in-game randomness. Players must evaluate strategies both based on the pregame setup and the actions and potential reactions of other players in order to be successful. 18 EUS provides a fantastic play experience that builds on favorite aspects of previous 18xx titles and adds fresh new ideas. It is highly interactive as the strengths of certain strategies depend on the actions and reactions of other players. The decision space is deep and similar to other high-level 18xx games, but plays out in a shorter time frame. Like I said, under 4 hours is a selling point. 18 EUS is a great next step game for those who have enjoyed 1846 and has the replayability and depth to keep 18xx veterans coming back again and again. 18 EUS, which of course stands for Eastern United States, is for 3 to 5 players, ages 14 and up, plays in around 4 hours, and can be pre-ordered for the P500 price of $60 with an eventual MSRP of $86. So if you are interested in 18xx games, you might want to go take a peek at this. So GMT has quite a few P500 games recently that are not war games. I almost said Hex Encounter war games, but GMT doesn't really do a ton of traditional Hex Encounter war games. Their war games all have something a bit different. For one, some of them don't use hexes at all or counters at all. But still, there is actually a news piece that I wanted to share with you, but there are no images. I think there's a box mock-up, and that was it. And I will actually share that when we wrap up the news, because it is another P500, and it's something, if you have followed the gaming gang for the past few years, it is another game in a line that I love. Once again, couldn't really share a news piece with just a box mock-up. Let's move on to some role-playing game news, because now available from Mongoose Publishing is 2300 AD Project Bayern. Here's the deets. The Pleiades have long been a source of wonder and inspiration to humans who observe them in the fall and winter skies of Earth. Project Bayern provides an immense amount of source material for the 2300 AD referee, detailing the historic flight of the starship Bayern as it leaves human space to cross more than 450 light years of unexplored territory before reaching the Pleiades star cluster in the constellation of Taurus. This set contains all the data needed to run an ongoing campaign of adventures based around the monumental voyage of the Bayern. Details on the ship and its auxiliary vehicles are included to give both travelers and referees a full understanding of their limitations and capabilities. Background information on the Astronomischen Reichen Institute will allow the travelers to identify with the goals of the mission and understand more completely this unique foundation. Biographical information on the flight crew and heads of the scientific team provides ready-made travelers or fully developed characters. Furthermore, there's a section on the Pleiades, and it provides astrophysical information on the star cluster. Project Bayern contains Book 1, Mission Profile. Book 2, Technical Reference Manual. Book 3, Primary Mission Objectives. And Book 4, Secondary Mission Objectives. A giant poster map showing the many decks of the Bayern on one side and a star chart of the Pleiades on the other is included as well. Do want to mention this does require the Traveler Core Rulebook and 2300 AD. Tessie Trekkie asks, what's an 18xx game? It is a railroading game. So they call it 18xx because the games almost always fall into some period in the 19th century. And if it's a railroading game that takes place, say, in the 20th century, it's not an 18xx game. So I did not come up with it. I did not come up with the phrase because I certainly would not have used that. Some other people call games like that puffing Billy games because I guess um, steam powered locomotives were referred to as puffing Billies. I guess like I said, I don't know, but I have heard that term as well. Tessie Trekky's like, thank you. I know it is kind of weird, especially as many times as they refer to 18XX in that news story. But back to Project Bayern. Gotta say, I know a lot of people are excited about this. This was one of the biggest selling adventures for, or I guess we'll say supplements for the original 2300. So I can see that's probably going to carry over. Now, this is available as a box set, which includes a PDF, carries an MSRP of $99.99. Yes, it's Mongoose Publishing. I don't know what to tell you. Or you can grab the 314-page PDF at DriveThruRPG for $49.99. And it is one of the most popular PDFs right this moment. I think at this moment, I think it's their top seller over on DriveThruRPG. So here's something I want to point out. I've had people argue with me a lot that 2300 AD is not Traveler. But you need the Traveler core rulebook and the 2300 AD supplement to run this. So doesn't that make this Traveler? It even has the Traveler trade dress on the bottom of the cover. I don't know. I think it's Traveler. But I think this is another one of those cases where it kind of falls into, like, we know there's multiple editions of Traveler that are out there being supported right now, not just the Mongoose Traveler second edition. There are Mark Miller's Traveler. There's Cepheus Engine, which is Traveler. Stray Kismet says this is Traveler's Oregon Trail. Tessie Trekkie says, walks like a duck, sounds like a duck, smells like a duck. It's a rooster. Yes. That rooster's been ass deep in duck. That's why he smells like a duck. So, funny enough, Stray Kismet mentions it's Traveler's Oregon Trail. There is actually a new edition of Oregon Trail that's out. I don't know if you knew that, but there is. Somebody sent me it. I played around with it a little bit. I got to be honest, I never played the original Oregon Trail. I had always heard stories about it. I was always like into more advanced kind of, PC games, but it is kind of cool. It is kind of interesting. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about PC games after the news, just for a moment. So, moving right along, following a successful Kickstarter, Evil Genius Games has released the PDF of Everyday Heroes. Here's the latest. 20 years ago, D20 Modern was launched and grew to become the most successful modern-day tabletop role-playing game in history. We brought back some of those original designers to create Everyday Heroes, a 5th edition refresh of the historic D20 Modern. If you are a fan of D20 Modern, you're not going to want to miss this upgrade. If you don't know what D20 Modern was, then get ready to take the leap. In the Everyday Heroes core rulebook, we provide everything you need to run a modern-day campaign. We have 18 classes, dozens of professions and backgrounds, and we have the gear. We have a new wealth system and rules for card chases. You'll have everything you need to design your own spy thriller, Navy SEAL rescue, or murder mystery. But that's not all. You can also step into one of our 8 different cinematic adventures and play your own action hero within a blockbuster franchise. You can step into a Jaeger and fight Kaiju. Kaiju. Why did I say Kaiju? Kaiju. You can befriend Kong and fight terrible beasts on Skull Island. You can mow down rebellions alongside Rambo. Each cinematic adventure not only gives you an adventure set in the world of these movies, but also new 5e mechanics. In each cinematic adventure, we provide several new game mechanics that you can play in any of your 5e games. For instance, Universal Soldier will give you new rules for cybernetics. Total Recall will give you new rules on mutants and mutations. There's something for everyone. Because this game is compatible with 5e systems, take any of these mechanics and put them into other 5e campaigns. Want to build a Highlander immortal and plop them into your Ravenloft adventure? Go for it. It's your world, it's your story. The 461-page PDF of Everyday Heroes is available now at DriveThruRPG for $29.99. So I know there were a lot of people who were pumped about Everyday Heroes. I don't believe the hardcover is coming out until... Now, I might be wrong on this. I know it's next year, but for some reason, I thought it's not going to be out until the spring. Like I said, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that that is the case. Also, I'm also pretty sure that The Crow and Escape from New York are both either available now as the cinematic adventures, or they will be very soon. So there you go. Tessie Trekkie says, so 5e through the lens of D20 Modern. Is this the one that has a huge number of 80s? Yes. There you go. Tessie's like, yep. Oh, there they are. Yes. Although, I got to be honest, Rambo. Yeah. Really? Snake Plissken? I thought you were dead. As Stray Kismet mentions Snake Plissken. I would say out of the various different sort of like cinematic adventures, Escape from New York and probably Highlander would be the two that I'd be most interested in taking a look at. Just me. I think The Crow is like, I love The Crow. I think The Crow, and I'm trying to remember, is it Joseph Barr? Is that his name? I can't off the top of my head remember the creator of it. Very, very cool. Definitely love it. But as a setting, I don't know. Especially with multiple players. This seems like this is going to be like these cinematic adventures would be perfect for just one-on-one. You know, one DM, one player. I think you're probably looking at that's with some of these, not all of them. Now, King of New York, hey, number one, hey. Yes. Donald Pleasance. He was he was one of John Carpenter's favorite actors to bring in. He liked to work with him quite a bit. So, pretty cool. All right, final news piece, now available in print and PDF, is Bugbears and Borderlands. Here's the scoop from Izegrim Creations. I'm sure I mispronounced that. Taking a shot. What would it look like if Tom Moldvay created a basic version of 5e in the same vein as he did Basic Expert with AD&D? While 5e does have an official basic version, they designed it with all the rules complexity, but none of the character options. Bugbears and Borderlands flips the script on that. The rules have been streamlined to the very basic core, while also offering a lot of character customization options at character generation, while also being very easy to learn and play. Hundreds of pages can be daunting for newer or younger players, the reason why Mold Vase Basic Expert back in the day brought in so many new gamers, because it was an easy read and easy to play. B&B emulates this philosophy while being largely compatible with Core 5e. You can score the one-volume, 142-page release of Bugbears and Borderlands from DriveThruRPG in hardcover with PDF for $19.99. Do want to point out it is also available in separate books, one for players, one for game masters. But you can get the PDF for $1. Yes, you heard me correct. You can get the 142-page release of Bugbears and Borderlands from DriveThruRPG in PDF for $1. And how do you think I got these images I'm sharing with you? I purchased it for $1 to check out. And I did a, quick kind of flip through some of it. It looks pretty good. Tessie Draggy said $1. $1 US sold. Sold American. Yes. So people complain about the cost of role-playing games. We are going to talk about that tonight. This is a prime example of how you can jump in and not really spend hardly anything. Now, of course, we've talked about Basic Fantasy is free. Everything for Basic Fantasy is absolutely free digitally and super, super cheap if you want to purchase physical books. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to have a longer show tonight. So I'm just going to point that out. Anyway, that is it for the news tonight. Of course, I was just talking about DriveThruRPG. Don't forget, the Gaming Gang is affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites. So if you are going to visit, say, DriveThruRPG to pick up that $1 copy of Bugbears and Borderlands, please stop by thegaminggang.com first. Click on one of our banner ads. That way, if you happen to make a purchase, I get a small portion of that sale. In fact, if you're purchasing that, I'll get a nickel. But I'll tell you what, all those nickels, dimes, and quarters really do add up and help keep thegaminggang.com around. Certainly do. Also, if you like this video, if you dig the channel, if you find thegaminggang.com to be a valuable resource, hell, if you just like what we do, you can always stop by paypal.me/gaminggang and make a small donation. And thankfully, there are a lot of people out there who utilize our drive-through banners as well as pop on by paypal.me, and it is certainly appreciated. Coco B says, I'd buy that for $1, and then made reference to RoboCop. I would have caught that reference, actually, because I almost said that. I'd buy that for $1. Stupid catchphrase stuff. All right. Anyway. So let's get down to brass tacks tonight. First of all, I have a copy of Blade Runner, the role-playing game starter set in PDF to give away. Now, I don't believe I have seen this person in chat, but the winner of the PDF is Wancho Dumagal, who, if I remember correctly, lives like near the Amazon. I swear, I think he does. He is the winner. He's the winner of the PDF for the starter set for Blade Runner, the role-playing game. So what I need you to do is shoot me an email at jeffmcaleer@thegaminggang.com with the email address that is associated with your YouTube account, and I will get you that PDF copy of the starter set. Now, tune in tomorrow because I'll be giving away a copy of the core rule book. I just happen to have it right here in PDF. So I'll be giving away a copy of this. And of course, I mentioned how you could get into the running to win last week. So keep that in mind. And then Wednesday, I will have another winner to announce. We'll get to that in just a bit. Anyway, I was going to say, with like PC games, if you're PC gamers out there, which I'm sure many of you are, keep your eyes peeled because there are a lot of various different opportunities to score games for free. So right now, Epic Games is in the midst of their 12 days of Christmas or 12 days of winter holiday, whatever they consider that. And every day is a new giveaway. So far, the games have been, and there have been, I think, 2 of them that they had given away like last year, or they'd given away previously with their weekly freebies. But every day is a new game. GOG is also doing free games. It's not every day, but it's every few days. I think they've had 3 different freebies. Steam will probably pop something out there. So this is the time of year that you kind of want to keep your eyes peeled as far as the various giveaways for, well, just like I'll give you a great example too. If you have Amazon Prime, you also get Prime Gaming, which is sort of like a poor man's Humble Bundle. So Humble Bundle usually has like a selection of like say 6 games, maybe 8 games for a single price that you get. And you can they changed it up before. You can kind of pick from a certain number. And they're usually, you know, A or B titles, but they're a little older normally. Well, with Prime Gaming, they're like B and C. Although on the 27th, if all you got to be is signed up for Prime Gaming, and like I said, it comes with your Prime membership. Every month they have new games and they are, yours to keep. So on the 27th, I think it's Dishonored 2, which was that's an A+ title. So that'll be available for free. Like I said, keep your eyes peeled. And, I don't know what you might enjoy playing. I'm sure there's plenty of genres of PC games that some of you out there are into that I just aren't my bag of tricks. So I don't usually share like the free Epic games. I used to, but it really didn't bring people in. So I was kind of like, eh. And then it would be like, oh, another racing game. Okay. Straight Kismet said they went and picked up Bugbears and Borderlands through the affiliate link. Thank you very kindly. Always appreciate you guys using those. So something else I wanted to mention is actually I'm going to roll out one of them tomorrow. I was hoping to record it this past weekend, but if you tuned in late, the spring on our garage door broke, which garage door is like 350 pounds. No joke. It is that damn heavy. Couldn't budge it. And I had to screw around with that all weekend. So, and we've got somebody coming to replace the spring tomorrow, but we got this, the spring off and everything. It was just like, you know what? Forget it. We're not going to screw with this and wait for somebody to ship us a spring and hope it's the right kind. So kind of trapped. So working on that anyway. So I have 4 new series that are going to be hitting after the first of the year. Like I said, one of them I'm going to roll out tomorrow. And I just wanted to let you know it's going to kind of be every week. So like the first week of the month will be one, and then second week will be another, third week, and so on. So, and they are all role-playing game related. So keep that in mind. Yes. So there is that. Lastly, did want to mention, I talked about this on Wednesday's show that I said, yeah, I'm thinking about maybe putting together a video about this. And then, of course, I just told you what happened over the weekend. So I did want to mention this because I've had people asking me my thoughts about the CEO of Wizards of the Coast talking about how they need to better monetize Dungeons and Dragons. That essentially they would like to see people who play Dungeons and Dragons drop as much monthly as Magic players do. And it's created a bit of an uproar with some folks. And it was kind of funny. I forget who mentioned this in chat when I brought this up. And they said, oh, imagine that. A CEO of a corporation wanting to make more money. It's like, yeah, right, exactly. What's so shocking about this? So I know there are people out there who are, they're all in a twist about this. And I'll make this pretty quick because we still got a product to take a look at here, right? Got an adventure book to dive on into. So Omanal says their issue is the quality of products has not been very good. See, that's something I was going to actually talk about in the video. So here's basically my thoughts about it. So for one, Wizards of the Coast owes you nothing. I know there are a lot of people out there who are like, they're the same people who get pissed off when Marvel Comics does something with Spider-Man and they don't like it. And they're like, I'm going to murder Dan Slott. We're going to kill Dan Slott for doing that. Yeah, okay, whatever. But you own D&D to the extent that you own the products, right? You know, this stuff back here, that's what you own as far as Dungeons and Dragons. Anything else, no. And you also don't necessarily like have a God-given right to D&D. So if Wizards of the Coast decides, you know what, we want to crank out new content on a month-to-month basis, like Paizo, and we want more things that are digitized. That's another aspect that I believe is something that they want to focus on is they want to put more of D&D online. That they're never going to stop making the books. I know that's been discussed, but that's not going to happen until the point that books aren't made, right? So, because the thing is, right now, Wizards of the Coast does not sell PDFs of anything under their 5e line because they're terrified of piracy, which, to be honest, is stupid because all their stuff gets pirated anyway. So digital copies float out there and they don't get anything. They don't make anything from it. So that would be actually a change I'd like to see them make, is to offer digital products. Yes, of course, they offer, D&D Beyond, but they don't offer true PDFs because D&D Beyond and an adventure supplement is different than the hardcover published supplement, especially a lot of the artwork presentation, way, way different. So anyway, Wancho has joined us, says, oh, they're late. Yes, you won the contest for the starter set for Blade Runner, the role-playing game, but you weren't present, so I had to give it to somebody else. I'm kidding. You did win, but I'm kidding about giving it to somebody else. All you got to do is shoot me an email to Jeff McAleer at thegaminggang.com from the email address that's associated with your YouTube account. And I will make sure to get that PDF to you. Anyway, Omanal says just means more gamers will try different RPGs. Yes. That is absolutely correct. That is the point I want to make is you've got so for one, Omanal points out quality of the releases hasn't been great. It's been really hit or miss. And and that's from my reviews, right? Some stuff I've liked better than others. Some I've been like, really? Mm, you know. So there are companies out there that are doing great work. Cobalt Press, for one. If you want to stay 5e, and remember, you can get the SRD absolutely free. So you can get all the rules you need. You can actually get it. There's a bestiary, no images or anything like that. And there are certain creatures that are not in the SRD. But you can utilize the SRD for your rules and pick up any number of 1,000 third-party publishers, not products, publishers out there who do respect your purchase. Because that's the thing. Wizards of the Coast, we already know they don't respect the Magic players. How much respect do you think they have for the D&D players? About the same amount. Remember, they are owned by Hasbro, and you are dollar signs to Hasbro. That's it. And yes, I got nothing against Wizards of the Coast. The folks who I've dealt with Wizards, as well as their PR company that they use, always been fantastic. Always been great. I don't have a beef like some people do with Wizards of the Coast. I absolutely do not. But then again, I'm not here to soft soap you either about Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro. And it's all about the color green. That's it. That's all it is. So as Omanal points out, I had to go look to see who it was who made that comment. It's going to drive people to try other games. And we just were talking about a game that's like a basic edition of 5e for $1. 142-page PDF. It's $1. If you want an actual physical book, it's $20. Basic fantasy. Dungeon Crawl Classics. Castles and Crusades. A relatively new experience for myself, which I really like their system. Basic role playing from Chaosium. Tons and tons and tons of companies out there who appreciate their customers, trying to do what they can to please their customers. They're not here to bullshit you about social issues. You know what I mean? Jelly beans. So Wancho is promoting products. All right, banhammer them right now. You're not allowed to promote your products in the chat. Straight Kismet says, we're all Soylent Green deep down inside. Yes. Soylent Green is people. Anyway, so yeah, so that's basically my thoughts about it is the people who are crying about it, let's be honest, okay? And you know what I'm talking about. We're all like, oh, wringing their hands and gnashing their teeth. Oh, what am I going to do? They're really not playing D&D anyway. They're buying the books. They're buying the books. They're not playing it. Because if they actually played, then they would know they have all these other opportunities out there and other options out there. But, you know, the ones who are going like, oh my God, I can't believe, all the changes they're going to make. Oh, they're going to stick it to me in the pocketbook. They're not really playing. So anyway, so Wancho's talking about the game that they offer. The PDF is $5, and the physical book, I would assume it's a physical book because it says physical PDF. Physical book, I believe, would be $35, which I believe is in transit to me. We're going to take a look at it. So, all right. Anyway, that is it for that. As I mentioned, if you tuned in a little late, this is going to probably be a relatively long show. So, anyway, before we dive on into Vaesen, Seasons of Mystery, I think it's time for a brief intermission.
It's intermission time, folks. Time out for a delicious snack in our sparkling refreshment building. Every item a fresh, appetizing taste treat.
In the early 1900s, the toys kids wanted most for Christmas were a piggy bank and a Lionel train. In the 30s, kids' two favorites were tin soldiers and a Lionel train. By the 50s, it was coonskin caps and a Lionel. Every Christmas, kids have their favorite toys.
Midnight Flyer!
And every Christmas, one of them is a Lionel train. Why just give a toy when you can give a tradition? Lionel.
You know what I got for Christmas? A bad cold. Picked up a cough over Los Angeles, stuffy head over Denver, aches over Chicago. Mrs. Claus brought me all these medicines. All I need is NyQuil Vicks Nighttime Colds medicine. Got that in Boston. NyQuil alone relieves the same symptoms as all these, so I can get the rest I need.
Got everything?
Yep. NyQuil alone does it all. She's the best present I ever got.
I grew this rose in Wilkins coffee. Why? So I could have the beauty of a rose and the fragrance of Wilkins.
Nickel, nickel, to-do-la-da-da. Nickel, nickel, to-do-la-da-da. Pepsi Cola hits the spot. 12 full ounces, that's a lot. Twice as much as a nickel to Pepsi Cola is a drink for you. Nickel, 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 Pepsi Cola is a drink for you. Pepsi Cola hits the spot. 12 full ounces, that's a lot. Twice as much as a nickel to Pepsi Cola is a drink for you. Nickel, 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 Pepsi Cola is a drink for you.
Oh, I think Pepsi and Pete are going to get a little action there. I had a chuckle with the NyQuil commercial with Santa. Like, I picked up a sniffle over Denver, and I picked up a cough over whatever, and I picked this up over Chicago. Surprised he didn't say, and I picked up syphilis over Vegas. All righty. So, tonight, we are going to dive on into Vaesen, Seasons of Mystery from Free League Publishing. It's written by Nils Heinz, Thomas Harenstam, Gabriel Dubourg, and Kiku Pok Harenstam. Hopefully I'm close on these pronunciations. With artwork provided by Johan Egerkrans and Anton Vitus, this 98-page hardcover carries an MSRP of $39.99, where you can grab just the PDF alone at DriveThruRPG for $19.99. Let's swing on over to the other camera because here I've got Vaesen, Seasons of Mystery. So before we dive on in, do want to point out the fine folks over at Free League Publishing were kind enough to provide me with this review copy, but neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the Gaming Gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this coverage with you. These days, it's important you know that. Also, as normal, I'll be up here picture in picture. So that means I'll be cutting off a little bit of the upper left portion of the book as we take a peek inside. We are not going to look at each and every page, but we do want to get a good feel for what's in this adventure supplement. It is an adventure supplement, so it's important for you also to understand if you have a game master that you're hoping is going to run this. See you tomorrow. You don't want to hang out checking this out because room to surprises. Okay. So let's take a look at the back. Still are the forests, large and small, wrapped in the frosty white. Only the distant waterfall murmurs and hums in the night. The Nisi listens in half in dream, thinks its time's ceaseless stream, wonders which way it is going and from which source it is flowing. Within these pages, you'll find 4 spine-tingling cases for Vaesen Nordic horror role-playing. This game contains 4 standalone mysteries, 1 for each season of the year. In these pages, you'll find A Dance with Death. Travel to the green vales of Dalarna in the springtime to investigate strange events in a remote village. Fireheart. During the summer heat wave of the century, journey south to the ironworks of Harad and confront a fearsome adversary. The Devil on the Moor. On the autumnal moors of Denmark, find yourself in a struggle between the ways of old and the designs of modernity. And A Winter's Tale. Cross the Baltic Sea and brave the wintry forests of Ingria, where an unknown being stalks the night beneath glittering stars. Jason Mountain and Rapscallion J are with us in chat just in time for us to take a peek inside Seasons of Mystery. So this clocks in at 98 pages. So this is a relatively short hardcover. I believe it's 98. We will double check because I took that page count from DriveThruRPG, and we do know on occasion DriveThruRPG is absolutely way off on their page count, but it does feel like this is about 100 pages. So let's take a peek. It looks like each adventure is going to be about 20 pages. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a little bit of this. I will give you a brief synopsis of each of the adventures. So this mystery for the role-playing game Vaesen, well, obviously, the book we've got in our hands, I don't know why it's pointed out here, brings the player characters to the scenic province of Dalarna in springtime with its green woods, brown cabins, and the blue waters of Lake Siljan. There they will be introduced to the Swedish dance and folk music tradition and see the darkness hiding behind the joy of the music. The mystery will test the player characters' deductive powers, social skills, and, if they're not careful, their fighting prowess. So we get a background to the adventure. So we get some side bar or side boxes. It says if you want to run this mystery in Mythic Britain and Ireland instead of the Mythic North, a good area to choose would be the west coast of Loch Carrid near, I don't even want to try to pronounce that, County Galway. All right. I'm taking a look to see if we can get just kind of not necessarily a synopsis, but what's drawing the characters in. So it says Feudal is a feudal summer farmstead located in Nusnas, a village in Mora Parish. It's composed of a scattering of cabins, like a little village of its own near Feudal Cove in Lake Siljan. Though the village runs a stream Oh, sorry. Through the village runs a stream called Fuon. Here, the farm girls are tending cows and goats that have recently been brought to Feudal for summer grazing. Ah, okay. All right. Remember, players, get out of here. Pancho says, wonderful art. Yes, this series has very unique art. So it says, in Lake Siljan lurks the Neck. With his music, he has lured unfortunate individuals to drown in the lake, hoping that they will keep him company in his underwater realm. Listening to the humans singing and dancing in the villages has made him envy their sense of community. Aha! Interesting. And that must be the Neck. Sweet. So looks like we're gonna get some NPC sidebars as well. Ooh, the Neck can take human form to move among the people of Feudal or Feudal. He calls himself Nicholas and looks like a tall man in his late 20s with long black hair and a beard. He wears a hat that conceals a third eye in his forehead, just like that episode of Twilight Zone. And does whatever he can to keep it hidden. He's fairly quiet, but has a certain mysterious charm. He introduces himself as a drifter without a family, which is why he lacks a surname. So Rapscallion Jay said it's a flying visit. Need to grab some sleep because it's 2 a.m. where they're hanging out. Good to see you, Jay. We will catch you later. We've got some stat blocks for farm girls. Do we have a stat block for the farmer's daughter anywhere in here? Where's that? So if you are not overly familiar with Vaesen, it is kind of a folkloric role-playing game in a similar vein. I don't want to compare it too closely to Call of Cthulhu, but it is a horror game, but it is more investigative as opposed to it's just a gross out kind of horror game. So it is in the Victorian age, and the main setting is Norway. And we just took a first look at the Mythic Britain and Ireland supplement that has recently come out as well. So there is another adventure supplement that I didn't. For some, Free League Publishing. It's kind of funny when my contact who's super nice, when she's around, it's like boom. Anything that's coming out from them, just bam, just shows up. When she's not around, it's kind of like, I don't know if any reviewers are getting stuff. Sarah D missed the intermission. Oh, it was a good one. It was a good one. Had to reboot their PC because things went sideways. Anyway, so supposedly that is going to be sent as well. So we'll have looked at all of the Vaesen releases once that arrives. Right, so we have Fireheart. This mystery brings the player characters to the deep southern woods of Smolandia? Yeah, I guess that's it, Smolandia. These lands are ravaged by heat waves and wildfires, triggering poverty, hunger, and mass emigration to America. Player characters drawn into the situation by two brothers who run an ironworks by the shore of Lake Huron. Can they uncover the cause of the fires and save the area from ruin? Anyway, as I was saying, this is kind of Victorian era, late Victorian era. So 1870s, 1890s-ish. 1,000 years ago, a mighty dragon plagued the pagan woods of what is today known as Smelandia. After many years of torment, the local clans assembled a great war band to slay the beast, whom they called Fireheart. They marched on the dragon's lair, located in a deep valley in the deepest heart of the forest. Creatures faced them in combat. I should say creature, not creatures. And the battle was terrible. The army was slaughtered to the last man, but the dragon was badly wounded and retreated into its lair. Then a powerful shaman called down a fierce storm. The rain fell in torrents so great the entire valley was flooded and turned into a large lake, which was named Hadden, meaning the army in the local tongue. In memory of the warriors who fell there, centuries passed, the story was eventually forgotten. Only the name remained. So is a dragon dwelling in the lake? Because that'd be back-to-back lake-related adventures. Maybe not. But as we can see, there's a dragon right there. So I guess that's what the player character is going to face off against. So another aspect of Vaesen that's kind of interesting is the player characters kind of have a headquarters. So that's kind of an interesting aspect to the game, where they have like a base of operations, which is kind of cool, right? It's kind of like their own 221B Baker Street sort of thing. So Stray Kismet says Free League has been putting out some good stuff. They are a very solid company. I know some people have been complaining a bit that some of their releases don't have as much content as people would like. So as an example, like that the fonts are too big, there's too much white space, or in many cases, black space because it's a black background. And I can see where people are coming from in their concerns. Now, it's not everything. Now, I know I saw some comments regarding the Mythic Britain and Ireland that people had made on the first look video. And it was, people were saying, there's really not much to the book. And even as we took a page through, it did seem like there was just far, far too much empty space on the pages. And of course, I'll have a review in the near future about it as well. Jason points out they ran the starter set adventure for Blade Runner over the weekend, and it was superb. Sweet. Very cool. That is another big top seller right now over on DriveThruRPG, both the starter set as well as the core rules. Right, so it looks like the player characters will be tackling a dragon, because there's our stat blocks. Then we have the Devil on the Moor. That's a sweet-looking child there. Player characters travel to a god-forsaken moor on the west coast of Jutland, where... You mean the Battle of Jutland? Where ambitious engineers have awakened dark forces in their quest to tame and modernize the landscape. Well... Grimstead Ling is a windswept moorland stretching to the sea west of the old military road between the trade town of Viborg on Jutland in Denmark and the free city of Hamburg in northern Germany. This was once a lush area populated by proud and prosperous farmers, but slash and burn agriculture, I don't know why I started saying architecture, and overgrazing took a heavy toll on its soil. The people's greed, combined with plague epidemics and marauding soldiers, slowly degraded the farmland. Windblown sand mixed with the depleted soil, and the fields were overtaken by heather. The people who nonetheless stayed behind could not stop the ecological changes and adapted to a life on the barren moor. They became moor farmers and made their living rearing sheep and gathering peat, which they extracted from bogs on the desolate moor. So it looks like this is a clash of cultures really going on here. The primary conflict of this mystery is the nameless one. Oh, I think it's supposed to be nameless ones. There's no S there. Urged to take revenge on Gabriel Sonneman, who so cowardly abandoned the child's mother and forced her to commit a desperate act that would also be her undoing. Secondary conflict is about the tense relations between the Moorland society and the local population. Many in the area see the Moorland society as a threat to their community and traditions, which is why two of the more violent farmers in the settlement of Grimstead Hus, with the others' approval, have been sabotaging the drainage equipment. Cool. Sounds like this could be a pretty interesting tale. As I had pointed out, these adventures are about 22 pages or so. Oh, here's a friendly chap, eh? And then lastly, we have our winter adventure, A Winter's Tale, wherein the characters suffer an accident, get stuck in the dark cold, and are challenged by a mysterious adversary under the glittering winter stars. The Tomsalu Inn has been in the Trigg family since the Swedish period. The family left their little cottage outside Falun 200 years ago and headed for Ingria to seek their fortune in the wild east. In a birch bark shoe, they brought with them an acorn from the cottage, which they planted by the small pond behind the inn. Now the mighty branches of the oak tree provide welcome shade during the summer months. Unlike other Swedes who fled Ingria to escape the wars between Sweden and Russia, the Triggs have chosen to stay. During the war, their inn served as a field hospital. So, okay, here we go. At the heart of this mystery is a conflict between the relentless forces of nature and the safety of hearth and home. During the winter months, life here is marked by cold, snow, and darkness. Heavy blizzards plague the region, and the bitter cold is a swift and relentless killer. Children are warned not to go out into the forest alone. Villagers tell stories about an incarnation of winter itself called Morizko, or Father Frost. Taking a guess? Maybe? Morizko is a winter demon in the guise of a man who will sometimes be generous and show people the way home, but who can also twist their minds and lead them deep into the cold to freeze and die. So I'm kind of wondering, where is the character that we see on the cover? Is she in the springtime adventure? Because it looked like she would be in the winter adventure. Then again, I am skipping pages. So there is the inn. There's a tarot card reading. Wow. So here we have our handouts. Got a few of those. The tarot cards. So it is 96 pages. So count this, that's 98. Some companies count this as a couple of pages, some don't. So there we have the 4 different adventures. What was the last one called? A Winter's Tale? Yes, A Winter's Tale. There we go. Sweet. Looks interesting. Wancho says, well, these great books from giant publishers are a bit scary when compared to the small creators. Now, the funny thing is, though, it wasn't that long ago. Free League was not some huge publisher. They were small. And they don't, like at Gen Con, they don't have like a huge area. They don't have a huge exhibit area. It's decent sized. It's probably like the size of two or three small publishers, but it's not some massive, massive area or anything like that. So I love this cover art. I think this is what they call Anisi. I think that's how it's pronounced. So I would take a guess. She makes an appearance in that fourth adventure. So Jason points out, yes, and their head guy, Thomas Harenstam. I know it's close to how it's probably pronounced. I have actually interviewed Thomas before. I've actually done 3 interviews with the fine folks at Free League Publishing. In fact, I did one at last Gen Con, and the video was all screwed up. So I didn't get to post it. Anywho, this is Vaesen, Seasons of Mystery from Free League Publishing. This hardcover arrives in stores this week, carries an MSRP of $39.99, or you can grab just the PDF alone at DriveThruRPG for $19.99. Nice. Swing on over to the other camera. So something else I wanted to point out, I was going to mention this when we were talking about, the other stuff prior to the brief intermission. But I understand the pricing of role-playing games has gone up. And in some respects, it's gone up a fair chunk. Especially, just about every publisher is charging a bit more, or their prices are staying the same, but you're getting far fewer pages to the releases. And I still point out to people that you're looking at a hell of a deal. So as an example, right? So $39.99, it's not even 100 pages. So usually, let's say a year and a half ago, for $39.99, you would be expecting 150, maybe just under 200 pages in a release from most role-playing game companies. There's 4 adventures in this. It's $39.99, breaks down to effectively $10 an adventure. And let's say each adventure takes a single session. Let's say it's a single session of 3 or 4 hours. You're still looking at $10 for 4 hours of entertainment for at least 2 or more people. I say it all the time, regardless of how costly some of our tabletop games have become, still pretty damn good deal for board games, role-playing games, and things like that. Where I have more of an issue is when we see, and unfortunately, I just shared a news piece about Project Bayern for 2300 AD from Mongoose Publishing. I say it all the time. I really, really enjoy the vast majority of Mongoose Publishing Traveler stuff I've had a chance to see. I haven't had a chance to see a ton, but I have had a chance to see some. And I still think it's a good value. It's just pricey, especially for the PDFs. That's where I start to have an issue with pricing when you're looking at like 30 and 40 cents a page for a PDF. Now, if it's a 15-page or 20-page adventure from a small publisher, okay, all right. $6, $7, okay, I get it. But when we're looking at a relatively large role-playing game publisher charging, let's say, $40 for a 150-page PDF. So, Straight Kismet says, Mongoose is still a tough pill for the PDFs. I'm with you on it. I'm with you on it. And I know people get tired because it's almost every episode that I'm like, ooh, I'll have, like, I'll share a news piece about a role-playing game release that sounds really interesting to me. And I'm like, ooh, the price. Yeah. So Tessie Trekkie points out, if you're doing a big full-color book or box set, cost of writing and artwork now vastly outweigh cost of printing the hard copies. Oh, yeah. And I don't know if any of you noticed this or saw this. Chaosium Inc., my pals at Chaosium, released a statement, I think it was over the weekend, about AI art, and that they will not have AI art in their books. And basically mentioning any artists who are working for Chaosium, if they are using AI art, that they need to stop. And I thought, you know what? I even retweeted saying that, I love that stance, because in my opinion, if you love role-playing games, you probably love good role-playing game art. And you don't want to see that go away. And you don't want to see these people lose their livelihood because of bullshit programs and things like that. So, all right. So Jason says, I can't believe that people consider AI art, or that they consider AI art. Tessie Drake says, get the mouse involved in the AI art space and watch what happens. Jason Mountain says, like using Grammarly. I have never even glanced at Grammarly because I have heard it is hot trash. And my grammar's pretty decent. So I don't get called out on it too badly, or actually ever, on the website. So, and I write all that stuff on the website. All right. So I should mention, speaking of PDFs, if you are interested in winning a copy of, I don't know, Vaesen, I keep changing the pronunciation because it's weird. Vaesen. Somebody said it's supposed to be Vaesen, and then I've also heard it's Vaesen or Vaesen. So I'm just, rolling with it. Anyway, if you would like to win a copy of Seasons of Mystery in PDF, here's how you can get into the running. First of all, gotta like this video, please. There's no way for me to find out if you did or not. But do me a favor. Please give it a thumbs up. Be a subscriber to the channel. And in the comments section, tell me your favorite folk tale. You don't have to repeat the entire folk tale. Just tell me the title of your favorite folk tale and maybe why. And I will randomly select a winner and share the winner on Wednesday's show. So there is that. What's happening the rest of this week? Well, tomorrow we're going to take a look at Jackals, Travelers on the War Road, which is the latest release for the Jackals role-playing game from Osprey Games. Very happy to see them continuing to support this role-playing game. It might just be because the author keeps writing stuff. So that's a possibility. So there you have that. And then on Wednesday's show, we're going to wrap up the final episode of the Gaming Gang Dispatch for 2022 with an unboxing and a first look at my buddy Herman Luttman's Kill of Death, or I should say, The Kill of Death, the Battle of Champion Hill. So yes, we will wrap up 2022 with a War Game Wednesday. So there is that. And I will reveal some contest winners. And I don't know, being the last show before Christmas, might be some giveaways. I don't know. I'm not saying. I'm not saying for sure or not. But you will have to be watching live if there are giveaways. So there is that. All right. Anyway. Been a long past few days. Anyway, if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, don't forget, ding that bell. It'll not only let you know when the Dispatch streams live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evenings right here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central. Also let you know when I upload other videos, such as my upcoming review of Pathfinder Lost Omens, Impossible Lands, which I was going to shoot over the weekend, but didn't. So stay tuned for that. If you were watching live, thank you very, very much. Of course, if you took part in chat while watching live, even bigger thanks, because not only are you keeping me company, you're keeping each other company as well. Of course, I know many of you who watch this show don't have an opportunity to watch live. Doesn't matter if you're watching live or on Memorex. Thank you to each and every one of you who takes time out of your busy lives to watch any of the videos on the Gaming Gang channel. All right, everybody enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it is in your neck of the woods. I'll be back tomorrow. And of course, here's hoping each and every one of you gets to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.
Oh, hey, you're still here. That's okay. You don't have to leave just yet. In fact, why don't you subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel right here, or take a peek at the latest live stream, or even find out what YouTube recommends you check out from the channel. And of course, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thanks again for watching.